Okay, all right, this next video on 7.1, we're going to go over the second rule, which you can see we have highlighted here, which is power of a power. This basically means if you have an exponent, here the exponent's 2, if I raise this to another exponent 3, kind of looks like distributive property because you have parentheses. So you think, all right, what do you do with distributive property? You multiply. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to multiply both of these powers. So you're going to keep the same base, 2 the same, but then this 2 times a 3 gives you 6. So that equals 2 to the 6th. So kind of setting up our rule here, if you have this x to the n, and that's also raised to the m, well, you keep the same base of x, but it's raised to the product of whatever m times n gives you. Okay, so kind of the parentheses give it away that you're just going to multiply the exponents. Okay, if we did number 1, well, I see I have this 3 and 2. I'm going to multiply them. So I'm going to keep the same base of 3. And then 3 times 2 is 6, so that equals 3 to the 6th. Number 2, real easy. I have my two exponents of 4. So the 4, and then that's raised to another 4, so you multiply them. 4 times 4, so that gives me x to the 16th. Okay, number 3, now I have more than one variable. In fact, for number 3, I have 3 variables. So I have to look at all 3 of these separately and multiply each exponent separately for each variable. So if I have this 2 right here, I'm going to multiply it by 3. So 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. Then I have this 4 times this 3, so I'm going to get y to the 12th. Now z, remember there's nothing there for z, so I'm going to put a 1 there just to remind myself. So then for the z, 1 times this 3 gives me 3, so that's z to the 3rd power. Squeeze that in there. All right. Number 4. Now, number 4, we're adding in a coefficient. Do not forget about this coefficient. Most students always forget about this. This is 4. Now, there's no exponent for the 4. But if you just have 4, it's the same as saying 4 to the 1st power. Squeeze that. It's like saying y to the 1st, and it's like saying z to the 1st. So if you multiply all of these, okay, it's like saying then it's 4 to the 3rd. Because 3 times 1 for all of these is 3, y to the 3rd, and z to the 3rd. And 4 to the 3rd, if you put that on your calculator, that would give you 64. So you get 64 y cubed, z cubed. Don't forget the number before the variables. Okay, number 5 is another one. Do not forget about this 7. So if you're squaring that, you're going to get 7 squared. Okay, if I look at the x, I have 2 times this 2, so that becomes x to the 4th. Okay, and then if I look at the y, this is like saying y to the 1st, so 1 times 2 is 2, so it gives me y squared. Let's see here, and then we have z, I have 3 times this 2, which gives me 6, so that's z to the 6th. So that's the answer. Okay, if we do number 6, again, don't forget this negative 3, I'm going to leave this in parentheses. I'm going to raise that to the 3rd. Okay, and then this x is like saying x to the 1st, so 1 times this 3 is 3. So we get x cubed. Y squared. So we have, let's see here, 2 times this 3 is 6, so we get y to the 6th. Then we have the z cubed. So z cubed, 3 times this 3 is 9, so that gives me z to the 9th. And then if I just evaluate this, the negative 3 to the 3rd, that gives me negative 27. So negative 27, x cubed, y to the 6th, z to the 9th. And that's our answer. Okay, do the last one. Last one looks a little tricky here. Now here's the key thing. You have parentheses, you have brackets. You can first get rid of the brackets. You kind of work outside to inside. You can get rid of the brackets by multiplying these. This is power of a power. So 3 times 2, it's going to change this 3 to a 6. So inside the parentheses, you're going to have negative 2 x squared y. That's going to be raised to the 6th. And again, use power of a power. You're going to have negative 2 to the 6th. Don't forget to take that coefficient, raise it to the 6th. Then you have this 2 times this 6 is 12. So you get x to the 12th. And remember, this is like saying y to the 1st. So 1 times this 6 is 6, so you get y to the 6th. And then this negative 2 to the 6th, if you have a negative number, you raise it to an even power. It's going to cancel out and be a positive. That gives you 64. and then I just get x to the 12th, y to the 6th. All right, so this is our second property, power of a power. Kind of gives it away because you have parentheses. So if you have an exponent raised to another exponent, you then multiply the exponents.